2:15 a.m. A moonless winter night over Jankoy Air Base, Crimea, where the cold air is calm, the radar screens glow green, and Russia's most expensive air defense fairy tale dies in a single violent flash. 1 second, the S-400 command node is alive, humming with confidence, officers leaning back in their chairs, joking about another quiet shift. The next second, the ground jumps, the bunker lights stutter, and a $2.5 billion shield erupts into fire like a bank vault packed with gasoline. If this system truly saw everything, then this explosion should be impossible. If its AI really knew the difference between real and fake, then nothing should have slipped through. And yet, something did. Something cheap, something smart, something humiliating. Deep inside the command shelter, alarms overlap, operators shout over each other, and the radar picture fractures into meaningless static. Time to impact already passed. Margin for error was zero. And the most protected airspace in occupied Crimea has just been turned into a smoking receipt for Russian arrogance. Stay focused, because how this happened is a masterclass in how modern wars aren't won by muscle, but by math. 2:04 a.m. 11 minutes before the fireball, the myth is still intact. Above Jankoy, Russia's layered air defense architecture sits like a steel god, confident, heavy, and absurdly expensive. The S-400 Triumph is the crown jewel. Its 96 L6E cheeseboard radar rotating slowly, calmly, sweeping hundreds of miles of sky, while launchers loaded with long-range interceptors wait like coiled vipers. Around it, Tor-M2 batteries guard the perimeter, short-range claws ready to swat anything that dares slip through. Behind the scenes, Krasuka 4 electronic warfare trucks flood the spectrum, choking enemy sensors with noise, while MiG-31BM Foxhounds prowl high above, burning jet fuel just to remind everyone who supposedly owns the night. Russian doctrine calls this multi-layered certainty, a system designed to see first, shoot first, and never be surprised. The officers believe it. The manuals promise it. Moscow sells it to the world as unbeatable. If you were the commander here, surrounded by overlapping radars, missiles, and algorithms trained to tell real threats from decoys, would you worry? Or would you trust the machine, lean back, and wait for another boring shift to end? 2:07 a.m. This is not just air defense. This is a floating balance sheet of Russian pride. Each S-400 battery here represents a $2.5 billion promise sold to generals, politicians, and foreign buyers who wanted a magic dome that makes wars inconvenient for the enemy. Every interceptor sitting in those launch tubes costs roughly $4 million, meaning every trigger pull is a luxury purchase, the kind you don't want to explain to auditors. The radar array alone is worth more than some countries' entire air forces, and the command vehicles beneath it are packed with servers, processors, and AI code that Moscow swears can think faster than any human operator. This base isn't just protecting Crimea, it's protecting a reputation, a marketing brochure, a $100 million a year export fantasy. Lose this system, and you don't just lose hardware, you lose credibility. And that's why no one in that bunker is nervous yet. They don't see a battlefield. They see sunk costs, premium assets, and a shield so expensive it must be unbeatable. But here's the lethal error. When you price invincibility this high, every cheap Ukrainian drone becomes a financial weapon. 0:29 a.m. While Russian operators stare at clean screens and perfect confidence curves, Ukraine is already playing a different game. One built not on force, but on deception layered so precisely it looks like weather. The first wave arrives quietly. Banshee jet, 80-plus decoys climbing high, engines screaming just enough to paint the radar picture of diving Su-24 seconds. Their signatures stretched and exaggerated by carefully tuned emitters that whisper bomber to any algorithm hungry for validation. Seconds later, a second layer blooms beneath them as UJ-26 Beaver drones flood the lower altitudes, not racing to hit anything, but bleeding electromagnetic noise into the air, stacking interference like fog over a freeway. This is the genius detail most people miss. Ukraine isn't hiding, it's oversharing, feeding the S-400 too much data. forcing its AI to classify, reclassify, and panic in silence. Stay with me, because this isn't chaos, it's choreography. Every cheap airframe is positioned to look important, every signal timed to overlap just enough to blur the truth. On the Russian side, the system does exactly what it was designed to do. It reacts. Tracks multiply. Threat levels spike. Priority lists reshuffle. And in that moment, when the machine commits to the illusion, the trap closes. Because the deadliest thing in modern warfare isn't a missile. It's certainty built on bad data. 2:11 a.m. Inside the bunker, confidence turns into celebration far too early. Russian operators watch icons disappear from the screen as Tor M2 missiles snap upward, shredding Banshees that were never meant to survive, while S-400 interceptors ignite one after another, each launch a $4 million firework chasing a $15,000 lie. You can almost hear the high fives through the concrete as someone laughs about another NATO toy getting erased from the sky. This is the moment arrogance always shows its face. The screens look busy, explosions bloom harmlessly above empty fields, and the system reports success after success. But wait, here's the twist. Every launch drains the magazine. Every radar lock hardens the system's attention upward, and every second spent killing decoys is a second not spent watching the horizon. Most viewers see air defense working. The sharp-eyed ones see a different picture. Ammunition counters ticking down, tracking channels saturated, operators trusting automated threat rankings instead of instinct. If you were commanding this battery, would you stop firing and risk being wrong? Or keep shooting and trust the machine? The Russians choose the second option. They always do. And that decision, fueled by ego and expensive explosions, leaves a hole so wide you could fly a cruise missile through it. Which, inconveniently for them, is exactly what's about to happen. 2:12 a.m. While Russian missiles are still chasing ghosts in the upper sky, the real killers are already moving. Low, quiet, and almost boring by comparison. Two Ukrainian Su-24M strike aircraft skim through the darkness far beyond the radar's cluttered attention span. Their Storm Shadow missiles separating cleanly and dropping into terrain-hugging flight like sharks slipping beneath the waves. This is the part most people misunderstand. These missiles aren't fast, they're patient. They use the Earth itself as cover, folding behind hills, roads, and frozen tree lines, while the S-400's radar, blinded by its own success, stares upward at threats that no longer matter. Stay focused, because this is where automation bias turns lethal. The system has already decided what is dangerous and what is not. The Storm Shadows don't match the priority list. They don't scream. They don't beg for attention. They just fly. In the bunker, someone finally notices a faint return on a secondary screen and hesitates. Is it clutter? Is it interference? The algorithm says no. Time to impact 18 seconds. Tor crews scramble, but their launch windows are gone. MiG-31 seconds are too high, too far, too late. The S-400, the crown jewel, has painted itself into a corner, and the corner is on fire. 2:12 and 36 seconds a.m. The first Storm Shadow arrives without drama, just physics doing its job with cruel efficiency. The seeker locks, the guidance corrects, and the missile drops into its terminal dive, converting altitude into speed as if gravity itself has picked a side. Time to impact 9 seconds. The warhead doesn't explode on contact, it penetrates. The Broach tandem charge punches through concrete and armor, the precursor blast clearing the path. The main charge forming a focused jet that turns steel into liquid math. Inside the radar vehicle, electronics vaporize before the crew hears the sound, shockwaves folding racks of servers like aluminum foil. Time remaining 4 seconds. The second missile follows, slightly offset, targeting the command node, where officers are still arguing with a machine that insists everything is under control. The explosion lifts the bunker lid, flips vehicles, and throws million-dollar components into the winter air like confetti at a very expensive funeral. Outside, launchers cook off, fuel ignites, and the so-called impenetrable shield collapses into a bonfire visible for miles. This isn't chaos, it's cause and effect. Bad data fed to automation, automation fed to arrogance, and arrogance fed directly into Ukrainian targeting coordinates. The S-400 doesn't just fail, It gets humiliated, exposed as an expensive lawn ornament that believed its own marketing. By sunrise, the math is impossible to spin. Ukraine spends roughly $120,000 on decoys and jammers, a handful of cheap drones built to lie convincingly, and in return, Russia burns through dozens of interceptors and loses a $2.5 billion S-400 centerpiece that was supposed to make Crimea untouchable. That's not a battle, that's a hostile takeover. A $15,000 drone forces a $4 million missile launch, and repeated enough times, that equation doesn't just drain magazines, it bankrupts confidence. This is David versus Goliath rewritten in spreadsheets, where agility beats bulk and software humiliates steel. The strategic checkmate isn't the explosion, it's what follows. Every remaining Russian battery now hesitates. Every operator doubts the screen, and every missile fired feels like lighting cash on fire. Automation bias becomes fear. Fear becomes paralysis, and paralysis opens the door for the next strike. So here's the real question for you. If you're choosing between brute force that looks impressive and strategy that actually works, which side wins the next war? And if you were in that bunker tonight, would you trust the machine or admit the math was never on your side?